Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Visual Communication in the Media. My name is Adam Rozeski. It's a pleasure to see each and every one of you. I'm so excited to have you all here. Welcome to week two. We finally made it after week one. Really pushing toward week two. Last week, we talked a lot about the mediums of visual communication, how we communicate visually, either through digital aspects or from the past through a lot of analog concepts. And this week, we're going to start getting into how visuals are designed to trigger a specific response type. For example, say, for example, certain colors are pitched like a red is meant to make you angry or to alert. That's what we're going to try and get into the specific 5 response types, which are sensory, perceptual, technical, emotional, and ethical. This week, we're going to focus primarily on sensory and how layout and colors and lines trigger emotions and memories and how they affect your own perceptions as well using sensory targeted images. And we're going to start off just with the quick concept of colors and contrast to really get into it a little bit more in detail, just to really get a head start into it. But just to let everybody know, lecture is actually on Tuesday this week, same time, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Links already been posted. Your rubrics have already been posted as well in the announcements. And also your initial post. Your initial post actually due on Tuesday this week, not on Saturday. So please make sure that your initial posts are due on Tuesday, all right, just to be safe, all right? Even though the due dates only show one due date for the whole assignment, you want to make sure that everything is ready to go for Tuesday for your initial post, just to be safe. But yeah, let's get into sensory responses and talking about how colors can affect senses and how they affect emotions based off of cultures and how cultures kind of work with it. Kind of this is just a lead into what we're going to be going into sensory imagery and really focus on a couple things. So yeah, let's get into it a little bit. So sensory communication uses a lot of sight, color, lines, layout, and organization to really trigger a human's sensory emotions and sensory elements. And much like everything else, colors really emphasize life and emotion. So we'll start off using colors on a nutshell and really go from there. Also, if you hear my son grunting in the back, I apologize. He's 3 months old. That's just what he does. Speaking of which, yeah, colors emphasize life and emotion. Even lines, layout, how things are organized, it all kind of plays a part with everything. But colors are a really good way to start sensory imagery. And the fun thing about it is they communicate both visually and emotionally throughout a lot of different aspects. Colors can mean different things depending on where you're from and what different cultures and different things that you're used to growing up. And it can really mean a lot of different things. So let's take a look at it and really get into detail about where colors can go from, just from different perspectives on where you're from. So with red is a good color to start off with everything. Red, from Western cultures, we tend to see red as like a cautionary color a lot of times, or a danger color. We see it in a lot of warning signs. And I'm not talking about like, hey, it's a caution. I'm talking about like immediate danger warning that's in use. Red's also used a lot of times with life and blood and how it really plays a part with medical aspects. That's why you tend to see the Red Cross use red a lot in their colors. We see red a lot with speed as well, power, strength, and really just like really dangerous types. So that's why cops tend to go after like red cars a lot of times. That correlation kind of plays with a lot of it. However, in Asian cultures, they tend to mean a couple different things. For example, in India, it means wealth, power, and fertility. In China and Japan, it means pride, royalty, happiness, and prosperity. Red is the royal colors of the government over there, including in China and Japan. It's their country flag. It really showcases traditionalism and pride. South Africa, however, red's kind of considered for violence, mourning, a lot of different elements that kind of play a part with everything. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. Now, with blue's a little bit different. They're different contrasting colors in the fact that one's very strong and one's very relaxed. And as us in Western cultures, we tend to see blue as it's calming, trusting, or used as a depressing or sadness style color. That's why we tend to see rain. People get sad when they see the rain, or it's just they feel really relaxed because it's very blue out there. We also tend to see blue in a lot of government buildings and hospitals. So because there's a lot of serious situations going on, they tend to use blue as like a relaxing color to deal with those concepts a lot of times. Now, China, however, they use blue for, we consider color for boys. They actually use it for girls. That's something interesting for what they use. In Latin and Catholicism, they use blue as a sign of hope and good faith and good health. There's a lot of aspects. In Judaism, is a sign of holiness, and divinity is a sign of God. So blue can be used in a lot of different methods depending on where you're from. It has a lot of different religious aspects moving forward. But yellow, on the other hand, yellow is kind of interesting. Yellow, we see it as cheery, sunny, warm, or it can be used for caution, like red, but not like serious warning, more like a warm up warning to be like, hey, this is a thing, take care of it, go from there. However, yellow, if you use yellow in French cultures, it signifies jealousy, weakness, and contradiction a lot of times. Egyptian cultures tend to use it as a sign of mourning or passing, like we use black. In Western cultures, they use yellow a lot of times. That's a big thing in gold. Thailand, it's interesting that Thailand using yellow as a color to consider good show of fortune or luck. That's another thing to keep in mind with that. Now, much like green, you would think the same thing. Like when you see green, if Thailand thinks yellow is good luck, obviously the Irish think that green is good luck for them. They have a whole holiday based around it, St. Patty's Day. Of course, it's meant for like going out and having fun and being inebriated a little bit. But the point being is it's all based around the Irishmen, the leprechauns, and green, and how it folds around the culture of green as good luck. Now, we in Western cultures, we tend to see it as like spring, freshness. It brings something new a lot of times to us. That's why we tend to tell people that they're green when they're new at like a job or new at like a technique or something. That's something, it shows us that something's new in our lives. Also means an experience. Another thing to keep in mind with green kind of ties with like money as well. So greed, jealousy. We tend a lot to see with those colors and how they correlate with a lot of different aspects. Now, Asian cultures, they tend to see it as like beginnings of new life. That's what green considered with, kind of like that inexperience, that new generation. However, South American cultures symbolizes it with death or independence. Much like how you see green in Mexico's flag, where it symbolizes their revolution against the Spanish governments over there in the early 1700s. That's something to keep in mind with. And that's why you see green a lot in their culture. So yeah, there's a lot. Colors and that's just the beginning of sensory responses and sensory communication, because just with colors, we can tend to see how people gather emotions or gather specific responses based upon how those colors are used. And that's just based upon where they're from. There's so many different ways that colors can be utilized. And we'll go into that a little bit more in lecture on Tuesday. Other than that, that's pretty much it all I got. Just keep in mind, you have your initial post due on Tuesday, along with our lecture, which is going to be on Tuesday as well. Other than that, that's all I got. Be safe, have fun, enjoy. Really excited to have you all here for week 2. I'm going to take a look at your grades. Hopefully have them back by Wednesday, Thursday. That's usually when I try to have them back by. And that's pretty much it. All right, everybody, have a good week. Enjoy, be safe, have fun. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one.